So in the next 3 minutes, I'll show you how to make work as fun as playing a video game by using the same psychological trick that video games use to hijack your brain and keep you playing for hours. This will be useful whether you're a freelancer like me, or if you're a college student, or even if you work a 9 to 5, because when most people think of work, they think of it like this. They think of staring at a screen for hours. They think of doing the same boring repetitive task, or they treat work as something they just want to get done with. They treat it as a formality that they just want to finish as fast as possible so they can go do something more fun, like watching Netflix or gossiping with their friends, scrolling memes, or playing video games to get that dopamine hit. But what if you could make work itself as fun as playing video games? What if you could get the same dopamine hit from work? Actually, you can, and it starts by understanding the psychological trick that video games use to hijack your brains and keep you playing for hours. So here's what happens, right? You start playing a new video game and you are immediately drawn into its world. You have all this realistic graphics, you have this fancy sound effects and background music that just sucks you into their world. And while all those things help, but the number one thing, the main thing that gets you hooked to a video game is clarity. You'll see this with every popular video game. From the moment you start playing, the game gives you a clear direction and tasks to complete. This can be like robbing a bank or stealing a bike or killing the rival gang's boss, whatever it is. This mini missions, they give you a clear goal and a direction, a sense of progress. You have complete clarity. You are not distracted by anything else. You are focused on that one thing, that one mission during that entire time period. You are completely locked in on that one task at hand. Now, what if you could take this same principle, the same trick that video games use, and apply it to your work to make it feel like a video game? So here's how you do that. You start with one big mission, you break it down into mini missions, you break down those mini missions into smaller mini missions, and you start with the smallest one. So let me explain with an example. So let's say you're practicing copywriting and your goal is to write 3 emails in the next 2 hours. So that's your main mission. Now you break it down into 3 mini missions like this, and then you break down those mini missions into smaller mini missions like this. And no, you don't have to go into such autistic detail. You can have that one big goal for your work session and then break it down into maybe 3 or 4 mini goals. But make sure you have that clarity and a clear idea of the task that you need to be doing at that moment. Bonus points if you assign a time limit to each task, because when you have that deadline, it creates a sense of urgency and it forces you to lock in. This is how you turn a boring 2-hour writing session into a video game with side quests and boss fights. Personally, I like to set aside 10 minutes every night to plan out my 2 work blocks for the next day and break down all the main tasks into smaller tasks. So in that way, I have complete clarity on what I need to work on without getting distracted. So try it for a week and see how it goes for you.